Alright, so it is the evening of day 12, and it's kind of interesting. This has got the film back on the top of the water, a little bit bubbly. Might have to do a test for ammonia, because I've actually seen high ammonia will give little bubbles like that. So maybe in the morning I'll do an ammonia test. But I don't know what I'm going to do for ammonia other than large water changes. I've been changing like 50% of the water every week, which is a pretty big water change. I guess if we get a really high spike in ammonia, I might have to up the water changes more often until this thing completely cycles. I would imagine it wouldn't be too bad. It wouldn't be too much of a load with just 2 little fish. Of course, those little fish are growing pretty fast. Got one fish right on top of the filter, and he's growing a lot, it seems like. Oh, wow. He's getting pretty big. Take a look at that guy. He's pretty big. It's funny, he gets right in that little channel right on the filter. Likes that little spot. And the other one's kind of hanging out on the bottom. This guy won't let go. There he goes. Alright, we got them both off. He's thinking about going back to the filter. They're getting quite a bit bigger for just having them for that little bit. Alright, got them both on the bottom. So the first thing I'm going to do, clean up just a little bit here from what I can reach. Oh, they're getting dirtier, that's for sure. Really, a lot dirtier. The bigger they get, the dirtier this tank's going to get. I guess it's a tank, hot tub, catfish pond. So I had a comment under one of my videos, and they said after the 3rd week they really start taking off as far as the growth of these catfish. So this is, well, we were guessing they were 2 weeks old when we bought them. So on day 12, it's coming up on almost 4 weeks. Because 14 days would be 2 weeks, and if they were 2 weeks old to start with, coming up on 4 weeks old, these guys. Still pretty small. And today's Monday. I think Wednesday I'm getting all my gear. So day after tomorrow, I'll actually get the waterproof housing for this camera and my selfie stick that goes underwater, and then the measuring grid, so we can get a measurement on them and get some underwater shots too. Be pretty nice. They're getting pretty big already. See if they come around and eat some of that food as it slowly sinks to the bottom. So just doing some bloodworms still. And yes, he is eating. Getting pretty excited. It'll be neat once he comes up to the top. I've actually seen them where they'll eat right out of your hand. Some people say they kind of train them underwater to kind of get them to eat out of your hand. But they're getting pretty big, pretty fast. That's for sure. Yeah, that one's eating. They're both eating. That's good. They're starting to come up a little bit. starting to get a little bit more brave and come off of the bottom. That one's got a huge mouthful of bloodworms. Looks pretty good. They still kind of nip at each other. Wow, he's just like sucking it in like a little vacuum cleaner. That's kind of crazy. Oh, took a big bite of his tail. I don't know if it's they're trying to eat each other, or if it's territorial, or if it's just kind of playing around. But they're eating quick today. They're both eating good. Kind of getting used to the routine. Yeah, I was starting to kind of look through my house at the options as far as when these guys get really big. Yeah, I might have to dedicate half a room for a big indoor pool or something. I was thinking about going to one of those, I think it's one of those soft-sided pools that you can get. One guy said he had one in his basement and it leaked. And he was kind of freaking out about getting another one, so makes me wonder what I'm going to get after this, after they outgrow the hot tub. I have to get something bigger than this, something that fits in the house, something that's not going to leak 1,000 gallons of water on the floor. That's the one thing. All right, so there you go. Doing good. Still have them both. I think they're too big to get stuck in the filter now for sure. So I don't really have to worry about that. All right, so that's the end of day 12. I'll give you an update tomorrow on day 13. All right, so today is the morning of day 13. And this is kind of interesting. Starting to get some foam in here. I actually did a water test last night. I'm getting a trace of ammonia, just a little bit of ammonia, 0 nitrites. So I don't know if this is from the little bit of ammonia. It's kind of interesting. It looks weird, kind of slimy bubbles. That's weird. Maybe it's catfish slime or something. I don't know what that is. All right, so we're going to see how big these catfish grew after 13 days. Starting out at just a couple inches. All right. He's back up on the top. Actually, I could probably measure him with my tape measure. I don't have my tape measure handy. Well, I got a tape measure coming in tomorrow. We'll be able to see right on the bottom. But I'm thinking he grew. Ooh, that's some cold water there. Ooh. All right, let's take a look. These guys are getting big. Got one right here. He's so funny. Kind of hangs right on the filter. The other one's down on the bottom. I'm afraid I want to put this filter right on a catfish and squash it. That's one thing. It weighs quite a bit, actually. Let's see if I can get him in my hand. Maybe. We'll see. He's like, wants to nose right up against the filter. I was wondering if I could kind of put him in my hand to get an idea of how big he is compared to when we first had him. Oh, he's quick. Can't get him in my hand. Wow. He's harder to handle than I thought he would be. Let's see here. All right. Take a look at this. See if I can get him in my hand. Boy, he's like... It's pretty funny. Has he grown? A little bit? I think so, maybe. Seems like he's really friendly. Look at that. Super friendly. It's kind of hanging out in my hand. That's pretty funny. Seems like he's in good shape, not really beat up or anything. Doing pretty good. All right. Let's see if we can get him over the edge here. Down with the other one. And then we'll give him some bloodworms that are starting to melt since I'm messing around with them. Alright. I don't know if you can tame them by putting them in your hand like that. Maybe. I suppose I could thaw out these bloodworms and then just kind of squirt them in with a syringe or something. Instead of jumping in the deep end with my catfish. Alright, let's take a look at these guys here. See if they'll eat. So far, the last couple days, it really hasn't been a problem with these guys eating. Seems like they've been eating right off the bat. Of course, takes them about 30 seconds to realize it's food. He ate one. They swimming the wrong way. That's probably the best way to figure out how big they are, is if I could pick one up and put them in my hand. It's so funny. They like nip at each other. I think there is a little bit of interspecies aggression going on between these guys. Alright, so looks like they're both eating, chowing down pretty good. I think we can still do the bloodworms for now. I don't think they're too big for the bloodworms. So, got another week on the bloodworms, and then we'll switch to something a little bit bigger. I think once they start eating bigger food items, they're going to grow a lot faster. Alright, so there you have it. That is day 13 on these catfish. Growing pretty fast. Not too bad. Alright, so if you want to subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'll do an update every single day, and we'll watch these guys grow every day. I've heard reports that they'll grow up to 1 inch a week. And I think they've grown 1 inch, and it's been about a couple weeks. Of course, it's kind of slow growing at the beginning because they were really super small to start with. All right, thanks for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.